I hope the fans are going to like the work that we've done.
Yeah, I think they will. We have something very special.
You two clearly get along and respect and love
I
each
have
other.
no idea what you're...
The drama surrounding Disney Snow White 2025 isn't just from fans, it's falling apart behind the scenes too. With only 2 months left before the movie drops, things are getting out of hand. Gal Gadot has reportedly kicked Rachel Zegler off a big promotional campaign, and the tension is rising. Gadot, playing the evil queen, is done playing nice. After her scenes were cut without any warning and she had issues with Disney over creative choices, it looks like she's done with it all. The drama behind Snow White 2025 keeps getting worse. Gal Gadot isn't holding back, and Rachel Zegler's frustrations are only growing. So, what's really going on? Is this movie in trouble before it even comes out? Let's break it down. One big issue is the decision not to cast 7 little people as the dwarves in the live-action film. Instead of me telling you about it, let's hear from someone directly affected. An actor with dwarfism said in an interview, "This isn't progress at all. There are plenty of dwarf actors who could have played the role." For many actors with dwarfism, being in a big movie like this Disney remake was a dream come true. But after Peter Dinklage spoke up last year, that chance is slipping away. It's not right, they argue, because these roles were meant for people like them. One actor shared, "I can't go out for roles like Harrison Ford or George Clooney. That's not for me. But these dwarf roles? They're made for actors like me." And it's not just about the lead roles. Think about stunt actors and body doubles. Now, there are more actors of this stature missing out on major opportunities, and the question is, why? For many in the little people community, roles in Hollywood are already hard to come by. They're often limited to characters like elves, leprechauns, and the occasional sidekick. So, when these opportunities start getting taken away, it feels especially unfair. While Peter Dinklage can't speak for everyone in the community, he's not alone in speaking out. Other actors have shared similar concerns, saying these choices are taking away jobs from people like them. The Snow White 2025 teaser, which premiered at D23, was supposed to build excitement, but instead, it only added to the frustration. The Snow White drama sparked a massive backlash, pushing Disney into full crisis mode. But what's really happening behind the scenes is even messier. Gal Gadot, upset over creative differences and last-minute changes, has reportedly cut Rachel Zegler from major promotional events just 2 months before the movie drops. The tension between Gadot and Zegler has been brewing for months. Sources say they've clashed on everything, from the film's direction to their public image. But it's not just about the big issues. Zegler's behavior, both on and off set, has only made things worse. The public backlash might have been the breaking point. Disney's D23 showcase was supposed to get people excited for upcoming movies like The Incredibles 3, and the teaser started with a familiar fairy tale scene, the 7 dwarfs cottage and CGI animals leading Snow White inside. But instead of pulling people in, the reaction was mostly negative. The reaction was instant and harsh. Fans were immediately turned off by the heavy CGI, uninspired costume designs, and lackluster cinematography. To make matters worse, the dwarfs were fully animated, with no real actors in sight, a decision that had already caused major backlash months before. The response was swift and brutal. People were asking, why does this look like a Disney Plus original and not a theatrical release? This looks worse than the live-action Pinocchio. Even Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White was criticized, with many saying she looked more like a background extra than the main character. Even Game of Thrones star, who was also involved, didn't escape the heat. Peter Dinklage made waves when he called out Disney for trying to be progressive in some ways while still pushing old stereotypes in others. But the issues didn't stop there. Beyond the CGI and costume problems, there was something much bigger going on, the growing tension between Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler. Sources close to the film say Gadot was already frustrated with the way Disney was handling things. But when the teaser dropped, her issues with Zegler only got worse. Insiders say Zegler's actions made the situation even more tense. Zegler's growing negative public image became a huge problem for Disney over the past year. She's made headlines for controversial political statements that turned off both audiences and studios, as well as disrespectful comments about the original Snow White, angering longtime Disney fans. On set, she clashed with executives and creative teams, demanding script rewrites that delayed production. Once seen as one of Hollywood's rising stars after West Side Story, Zegler has now become a liability. She was already dropped from key promotional events, and it's clear the fallout from her actions has taken a toll. Zegler's increasingly polarizing reputation has cost her multiple major projects, including a $110 million horror trilogy from Blumhouse. But her behavior on the Snow White set raised even more red flags. Reports suggest Zegler frequently clashed with the creative team, pushing for major changes to Snow White's character. She reportedly insisted that Snow White should have no romantic arc and that the story needed to focus on feminist empowerment instead of a love story. Her approach, combined with a dismissive attitude toward the original film, only added to the tension behind the scenes. Gadot wasn't happy with how things were going. She had joined the project believing it would honor the 1937 classic, but Zegler's approach didn't sit well with her. At one point, Zegler mocked the idea of a prince rescuing Snow White, saying, "She's not going to be saved by the prince this time. We're not doing that anymore." While this might have seemed appealing to modern Hollywood executives, it backfired big time with audiences. Many fans saw her comments as a complete dismissal of what made the original film so beloved. This wasn't just bad for Disney, it was bad for Gadot too. After the mess at D23, Disney quickly scrambled to fix things. Instead of distancing themselves from Zegler's comments, insiders say the studio decided to focus the marketing on Gadot, hoping she could save the film's image. This didn't sit well with Gadot. She never agreed to be the face of the movie, and she wasn't the one causing the controversy. She wasn't about to clean up Zegler's mess. Sources say Gadot pushed back, refusing to be part of any PR strategy that would involve covering for Zegler. This is when she made her move. She refused to appear alongside Zegler in promotional events. She had her team push Disney to remove Zegler from key marketing efforts. She distanced herself from the PR nightmare surrounding the film and Disney already panicking. Agreed, Rachel Zegler was quietly cut for major promotional efforts, and Dat had effectively removed her from the campaign. It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White. That is, she's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, playing Wonder Woman, and used to playing the protagonist who tries to save the world or to do the right thing, and all of that is not. The Evil Queen. The Evil Queen is the first villain ever made, and it really gave me the opportunity to be able to get into a new space and a new headspace to play something that is just far from what I'm used to playing, and it was amazing, and I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I enjoyed every single moment of Gal Gadot, best known as Wonder Woman, is now caught in a Hollywood feud that has nothing to do with superheroes, but everything to do with power, betrayal, and a film on the verge of disaster. She signed on to play the Evil Queen on Disney's Snow White remake, expecting a dark, elegant villain role. Instead, she found herself at war with Disney executives and co-star Rachel Zegler, and now just 2 months before the movie's release, Gadot has reportedly cut Zegler from major promotional events, signaling just how deep the rift between them has become. Gadot's frustration with Snow White have been boiling for months, but insiders say her final breaking point was Rachel Zegler herself, while Disney has been busy trying to clean up Zegler's public image after her string of controversial statements. That has had enough. Reports suggest Gadot was livid when Zegler repeatedly trashed the original Snow White movie. The very story film is based on Zegler classic as outdated, calling it a backward fairy tale, and mocking the idea of a prince saving Snow White. In an interview, she even boasted, "She's not going to be saved by the prince this time. We're not doing that anymore. We're crying on that stage. When am I not crying in public? It's so upsetting. Why were you crying? Oh my gosh, I saw we didn't even see. Overwhelming, we didn't even see. But I saw the logo, and I went, that's my name, Snow White's up there, and I cried my eyes out." What was it like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag? I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my god. Well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane, and then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker, and Nadia Stacy designed your hair. And makeup, it's like the most incredible thing in the world, and then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you watch the playback, which I never do, and I saw myself on screen and I just wanted to throw. I was so happy about it, and it was the most incredible experience, and the fan reaction was insane. We didn't even see what they were clapping for. I think it was good. The sizzle, we didn't see anything. We're still waiting. You see yourself as the evil queen. You are not evil, you are not all. You're a queen, but you're not evil. What was it like seeing yourself as the evil queen for the first time? We did not see the clip, so I still haven't seen anything when you were in make. But when I was in makeup, just like she said, we got to work with such an amazing crew, and it was just like the best it could ever be. I must say that for me also, the transition for the old hag was incredible because it was all real prosthetics, and all of that were in the chair for like 4 hours, and changing the voice and everything. I feel so lucky that I got to play something that is so far from what I know and what I'm used to, and I super enjoyed every second of it. You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that? I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White. That is, she's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in Snow White. Running for president. I'm launching my campaign. I am for Disney fans. This felt like an attack on a beloved classic love for Gadot. It was personal sources close to the production claim that felt Zegler's comments were not only disrespectful to the legacy of the film, but also damaging to the entire project. The backlash against Zegler became so severe that Disney was forced into damage control, but instead of holding Zegler accountable, the studio reportedly expected G to take on a bigger role in marketing to repair the film's image. That was the last straw that refused to carry the weight of Disney's PR disaster and reportedly ordered Zegler to be removed from key promotional appearances. Insiders say Gadot no longer wanted to be associated with Zegler's controversies and pushed back against Disney's attempts to keep them united in marketing efforts, while Rachel Zegler may have been the tipping point. Gadot's frustrations with Snow White 2025 run much deeper, are so close. We were so lucky that this movie brought us together, Patty and I. If there's something that we always do together is laugh. There's not just like one standout favorite memory. Our entire relationship, I feel like we've had so many different things that happened to us and that we've been together, and when it's just we have this connection that is very deep. The bond is real, and I'll do anything with Petty. She's incredible. Gal Gadot is going to be in the live-action Snow White. That is correct. So yes, I'm going to play the evil queen. It was the first time I had to kind of audition for a project in a while. They needed to make sure I can sing because this is a musical, so for a month I was working on the song, and then I auditioned and we filmed the song and I got the part, and it was very exciting, and it was so much to shoot because it's so different than anything I've ever done. It's so delicious and delightful, and I could really go big and theatrical. I can't wait for you to watch this movie. My favorite Disney movie, I'm shy to say, was Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh was my go-to. I know it's very for little kids, but it's just so peaceful and always calmed me down. GM3, please send your best working mom hacks. Hi, first of all, if you're a mom, a working mom as well, I just want to tell you you're not alone. We all have the guilt and the frustration that we feel from time to time when we're with the kids. We need to make sure we finish everything at work. When we're at work, we're thinking about the kids. It's like an inevitable war. What helped me once, I read a book and it says you can only do your best when you with the kids. Be present with the phone away and be with the kids. When you're at work, put the phone away, be at work and do what you need to do and love yourself. It's okay to work. You're giving your kids a good modeling on how to fulfill themselves and all of that, so just take it easy on you. That's my biggest tip. And she originally took on the role of the evil queen, believing it would be an opportunity to bring to life one of Disney's most iconic villains. Instead, she feels completely betrayed by how the studio has handled both her performance and the film itself. One of Dot's biggest grievances is the removal of her singing scenes. From the very start, she had prepared a musical performance training specifically to ensure her voice fit the role, yet when the teaser trailer debuted, she was stunned to see that none of her songs were included. Worse yet, sources claim her musical numbers were cut from the film entirely. Dot was furious when she learned this, reportedly telling Close Associates that it felt like a slap in the face, adding insult to injury. Disney has also kept some of Dot's worst takes in the final cut scenes that she and her team had specifically asked to be removed during production. Director Mark Webb assured that certain awkward or out-of-character moments would never make it to the big screen. However, when test screenings were held, those exact takes were still there. The reaction from earlier audiences was brutal, with many mocking her performance, making Dat feel like she had been set up to fail. The final betrayal came with Disney's marketing strategy, or lack thereof. Initially, Dat had been a major selling point for the film, but after poor test screenings, Disney executives quietly scaled back her presence in trailers and promotional materials. Instead of acknowledging the backlash over the CGI dwarfs or Rachel Zegler's controversial statements, the studio seemed to shift the blame onto Dat, treating her as a part of the problem rather than a key asset to the film. Behind the scenes, Gadot has pushed Disney to remove the bad takes and restore some of her best moments, but the studio has refused to budge. It's just been the honor of a lifetime. I think any young person, any little girl, you get to put on a Disney princess dress and be her for a day, let alone 6 months of shooting in London on these incredible sets in a Sandy Powell designed dress. It's just been the most amazing experience, and I can't wait to share it with you all. Oh, it's amazing. And yeah, as our EV queen, it's been said that Bill have the most fun. Is that true? How fun was it to be Bang? It was a lot of fun to get to do something that is completely different than anything I've ever done before. She's delicious, she's evil, she's magical. We got to sing all these different songs. It was incredible. And I can't wait for all of you to see. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for coming here and for staying and for paying respect to all these beautiful things that Disney are generous, and every year it's amazing. Now, you say that it was delicious and fun and all of that. That sounds like something the true villain would say. So if I were to S up to the near wishing well to a wish for a little sleep peek on behalf of the best fans in the world, what would you say? I'd say your wish is about to come true. Well, we, along with our amazing director Mark Webb, our entire cast and crew, we have worked so incredibly hard to bring this iconic story to life, and we are so excited to give you a sneak peek at the film. And as you know, there will be so many new songs that are amazing by Oscar Award winners Pick and Paul, but here for D23 we're going to show you a classic. Let's take a look. Alright, just need a moment. I just had to run. Amazing was that. Thank you. I made them. I took them out the wrong way and we had to run, and they still have stuff to say. Go on and tell them now. Well, how I and with the D23 surprises, you're all going to be the very first audience to see our brand new teaser trailer for Snow White before it goes out into the world, so please enjoy and have a great D23. Thank you so much. Thank you. But the company already losing massive amounts of money from box office flops like The Little Mermaid and Indiana Jones reshoot, and re-edits would be too expensive, and Disney isn't willing to invest more into a movie that is already falling apart. Feeling trapped in a sinking ship, Dat made a decision. She refused to be a scapegoat for Disney's mistakes. She fired Rachel Zegler from promotional appearances and distanced herself from the entire disaster Disney is now facing. One of its worst PR disasters in recent memory. Instead of his celebrated live-action remake, Snow White 2025 has become a symbol of everything wrong with the studio's current approach to filmmaking, with the backlash from audiences infighting among its stars. Disney's executives are in full-blown damage. As for Snow White 2025, it's not just fighting to save its reputation, it's now fighting for survival. The drama inside Disney has only gotten worse. It's no longer just Gadot versus Zegler, it's Gadot versus Disney. With the movie already facing huge backlash over CGI dwarfs and creative missteps, Disney executives are scrambling to find a way to fix everything. Disney is in full damage control mode right now. Sources say they've held multiple emergency meetings to figure out if the movie should even be released at all. One insider summed it up: this is turning into a PR nightmare, and the damage might be too much to fix. To make things worse, Gadot is refusing to join the movie's full promotional tour unless Disney makes some major changes. She doesn't trust the studio anymore and has made it clear she won't take the fall for their mistakes. Now, Disney is in a tough spot with no easy way out. Disney is in a tough spot. If they go ahead with Snow White as it is, they risk another box office failure. If they try to make big changes with reshoots or edits, they'll have to spend millions more on a project that's already struggling. And if they cancel it completely, they'll face the embarrassment of scrapping a major Disney film. Right now, Snow White 2025 is turning into one of Disney's biggest disasters. The real question is Can Disney bounce back from the backlash, or will this movie be remembered as one of their biggest mistakes? One thing's for sure, Gadot is done being nice. To make matters even worse, Gadot has made it clear that she's not participating in the full promotional tour unless major changes are made. She's expressed a deep lack of trust in Disney and has made it known that she won't be taking the fall for the studio's mistakes. Gadot is a major part of the movie, and her decision to distance herself from the promotional side of things is a huge blow to Disney. Now, the studio is stuck, trying to figure out how to recover from this mess. Disney is truly in a tough spot. If they go ahead with the movie as it is, they risk another box office bomb, just like some of their recent live-action remakes. But if they decide to make reshoots or heavy edits, it could cost millions more on a project that's already struggling. And if they cancel the film entirely, they'll have to deal with the embarrassment of scrapping a major Disney film that had so much potential. It's a lose-lose situation, and Disney's options seem to be running out fast. Snow White 2025 is on track to become one of Disney's biggest disasters. The backlash from fans, the internal drama, and the mounting financial pressure are making it a project no one wants to touch. The studio is now facing a major crossroads. Can they salvage this movie and repair the damage that's been done? Or will Snow White go down in history as one of the biggest missteps Disney has ever made? One thing is for sure, Gal Gadot is done playing nice. She's made her feelings clear, and now Disney is left to pick up the pieces. With the clock ticking down to the movie's release, it remains to be seen whether Snow White 2025 can be saved, or if it will end up as another cautionary tale in Disney's long list of ambitious but troubled projects. The fate of the film and its place in Disney history is still hanging in the balance.